Really nice that you're here. I hope you're doing well and your pregnancy is treating you well. We're going to do gentle breathing, fluid movements, so you have that feeling of connecting with your baby and kind of dancing with your baby. And we're going to just get started right away. So find a comfortable seat. First of all, maybe I'm going to talk about some props. So always have like a glass of water next to the mat as you may get really thirsty. You may have to pee more often, so don't feel bad of clicking pause and coming back. That's absolutely normal. And I always recommend having 2 blocks. These are specifically great for transitions between poses or a flow. And I always have something to pad my knees. So today I have a folded scarf. Yeah. So you kind of want to have something that is like at least hip width distance apart, so you can have your knees on it. You can use a blanket or a towel or whatever. And then I have my yoga bolster. If you don't have one, maybe use a pillow. You may want that for Shavasana. It is not absolutely necessary though. Okay, so find a comfortable seat. I also do recommend to prop your hips up if you feel like you're rounding your spine down. Okay. And we're just going to take a little time to arrive on the mat and focus on the breath. So we kind of find that beautiful way to turn inward and let the day and whatever happened, all the impressions just out that door, and focus on the time that we're spending right now with ourselves and you with your baby. Yeah? Okay. So take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, open the mouth and just let it go. And if it's okay, close your eyes. And just see what is right now. Just bring that introspective, that looking inside, that non-judgmental observation of, oh, how I'm actually doing. And then take another deep breath to say, all right. And on the exhale, I'm going to play with exactly what I have right now. I'm not going to try to change anything. I'm not going to try to feel differently. I'm just embracing whatever is. And now to just help be more even in the now and detach a little bit from our thoughts. Focus on the breath. And try to make the inhale as long as the exhale. And maybe it helps to count, so I'm going to just introduce that. And if you want to run with that, great. And if not, also great, right? Then you just try to make the inhales long and the exhales long. But for the counting, we're going to count to inhale 3 and exhale 3. So take a deep inhale. And a full exhale through the nose. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause. And just continue like that. You can just count in your own head, and that counting will also help you to detach from the thinking mind and just be more in the present. And just a little reminder, when I say pause, I don't mean you holding the breath. This is just an awareness of, oh, this is where the inhale ends and the exhale begins. And this is where the exhale ends and the inhale kicks in. Yeah? And when you're pregnant, you do not want to practice breath retention. Good, and do one more round. Inhale on the 3 counts, or if you feel like doing 4 counts, that's fine. And on the exhale, good, finish. And then try to just maintain a breath that has this quality of balanced in and exhales. And gently open your eyes and begin to just rotate your upper body. And you may do big circles or smaller circles. This is just to kind of find mobility in the spine. And also here, the hips are just rotating. And if you want to place your hands on your belly, and really at any time during practice, just do that. This is just such a great way to connect with your baby. Yeah? And go the other way around. And you can make these circles faster or slower, and you don't at all have to do it in my speed. This is really depending on how your breath goes. You want to try to align the speed of your body movement with the length of your breaths. Good. And come back to center. Good. Wonderful. And gently, just we're going to change position. So you're going to come to all fours, and this is where I would recommend you put a blanket or whatever you have under your knees. So you protect your knee joint. I'm going to use my folded scarf. You can be creative. Okay, and on all fours, I'm gonna start actually with showing you the birth preparation pose. This is a pose that, first of all, is really great to prepare for labor. And second of all, it's a really good resting pose in between, your flow or your asana, if you feel like you have to catch your breath again or you need a break. You're gonna come down to your elbows, interlace your hands, and just let your head hang. And it's really relaxing. And it helps to, just kind of lengthen your lower back and relax your neck and your head. And just really also relax your pelvic floor. And just find some ease. And you can also do some like hip movement here. Yeah, so it's really soothing. And just what I would recommend is don't let your belly totally hang through. You still gently want to hug your baby in, right? So that your lower back is long. Okay, good. And then from here, we're going to do, again, circular. And I like to call it also sensual movements. I want to invite you to feel your body. Feel the strength and the flexibility of your body, and bring the breath to it, right? So really continue that deepening of the breath, and think, and don't forget that this depth of your breathing is what also reaches your baby, right? You're sending oxygen to your baby. Go the other way around with those circular movements. Good. Find that fluidity. And really, if you imagine like your baby in your belly right now, you may just really think, ooh, he or she may be just doing little somersaults with me right now and having a real good time. Good. Come back to center. We're going to do some stabilizing work. And this is something I kind of try to talk about a little bit, the TA muscles. So they are like your corset muscles. So in this pose, we strengthen them, and they are just really good for when you're pregnant and also for labor, the TA muscles. So bring the right leg back. We're going to get into bird dog pose. And first you can just kind of come back and forth a bit to stretch the back of your right leg. Good. And then come to center. And from here, you want to imagine you have a block between your thighs and you're pressing the block so your inner thighs are engaged. And then from here, gently hug your baby in and inhale the right leg up. Good. We're first going to stay here, and I'm going to introduce, or you may already have heard me talk about it, a breath, and it's called the WHO breath. WHO. And we're going to do that while we're in this pose. So you're going to take a deep inhale into the back of your lungs, the back of the rib cage. And on the exhale, It's like you want to blow out a candle. And feel while you do that, kind of like the TA muscle, a corset around your torso, just tightening in and in and in and in on the exhale, hugging the baby in. Deep inhale. And once more, exhale. And can you, while you do this breath, still reach back through the right heel and forward through the crown of the head so your spine is really long. And then lower the right foot down and bring the knee forward. Good. I'm going to come into a child's pose. Bring the knees really, really wide and sit back onto your heels. Make sure in child's pose that your belly has room, so there's no restriction. And if the floor is too far away for your forehead, you can always use a block and place your forehead on a block, which has an additional relaxing effect actually, because of this pressure point between your eyebrows. Okay, then come forward and we're going to do the other side. And it's really also nice because you're probably going to feel the back of your legs, whatever leg is back, kind of engage and strengthen. So this is really, of course, a hamstring strengthener. And just do like the stretching action first. And also like this coming forth and back, right? We're mobilizing our wrist joint here as well, and the ankle joint, which is great anyway to keep our calves toned, our legs toned, to prevent varicose veins, because that is a thing that can happen in pregnancy. So if we keep like movement there, that is just always very good. And then come to center. Place or press the fingertips into the ground to take pressure out of the wrists. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. And can you try to have the center line of that thigh, the left thigh, reaching up to the sky? So what that means, rolling the outer hip more down toward the ground and lifting the inner thigh up toward the ceiling. Inhale into that length, top of the head away from the left heel, and hu breath on the exhale. Can you feel your pelvic floor on that exhale kind of slightly engage, drawing up and in? Inhale. And exhale. And release the shoulders away from the ears. Again, the hu breath. Imagining a corset kind of just tightening around your waist. Good. And then lower the left knee down. And we're going to come back to child's pose just briefly. Deep inhale. And exhale, open the mouth. Relax shoulders, relax your jaw. Look forward to your hands. Wonderful. Good. We're going to come into downward dog. And if you feel like you're not sure if that's the right pose for you right now, come into the birth preparation pose that I just showed you. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up. And already when you come up, just feel this, like energetically with your hands, you're pushing the ground away from you, right? Can you see like how if I push my hands down into the mat, it kind of lengthens my spine even more, and it helps to reach my hips and my tailbone up and back, because the goal is that we get this nice length in our spine. And pedal the feet here. So downward dog, this is another great way to tone our calf muscles. So if you ever feel like you maybe have like water in your legs a lot, or you have a swelling in your ankles or in your legs, this is a great way where you pedal the feet, right? Lifting one heel up and the other, so you keep the tone in the muscles. Or you do the vena pump, which is, so your feet are at least hip-width distance apart. You always can also have your feet wider apart in downward dog, by the way, yeah? The vena pump in downward dog is you lift the heels up and try to really draw up on the kneecap and engage those legs. Feel the muscles in the calf like really contract.
And then exhale, you lower the heels down. And lift up, push the hands in the ground, and lower down. Let's do 3 more like that. Deep inhale and exhale. And, don't be surprised, like you may start sweating, because downward dog is not an easy pose. It's simply not easy. Good. And then here, bend the knees a lot. And let's just do this transition. You lower down the knees down onto the ground. And step 1 foot forward and step the other foot forward. Feet mat width distance apart. Grab your blocks. Hands on the blocks. Keep a bend in the knees, a buoyancy, and let your head hang. And really this, like letting the head hang is just so great because our necks are just holding so much tension. Very expansive inhale, fill your rib cage. And exhale. I encourage you to really let your jaw oftentimes go on the exhale. Let some sound out. This is a good preparation for labor. When I say on the inhale, by the way, like fill your rib cage, I say that so you can really imagine or visualize your rib cage expanding to all sides, down, up, side to side, front to back, yeah? Inhale, we're going to come into a half lift. So again, lengthening the back of the legs. Press your feet into the ground. So your thighs, your legs are really engaged here. Exhale, folding forward again. And really use the hands on the blocks as a support. Inhale, long spine. Reach forward through the crown of the head. Exhale, relax. Good. We're coming up. Inhale. Half lift first. Make sure your spine is as long as it can get here. Bring the hands onto the hips and stand up. Good. And I really recommend keep like a buoyancy, a bend in the knees all the time when we transition like that. Good. Bring the feet hip width distance apart, or if you know you want that room for your belly, you feel more comfortable mat width distance, by all means, go ahead, yeah? Just always make sure they don't really want to be together. You want to have enough room for your belly. Inhale here, palms are facing forward. Reach the arms up, take up a lot of space. Let yourself be really big. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, good. Step back to all fours. And to downward facing dog. This is a very safe way to transition, yeah? Always transitioning in the flow through all fours. Good, and paddle your feet here again. And we're gonna do the vene pump again because it's just so, so, so good for you. Inhale, lift the heels. Engage your legs, draw up on the kneecap. Exhale, lower down, and use this pose also to even like lengthen the breaths here again. Deep inhale and exhale. All the air out. Good, and just continue on your own. And throughout this practice, right, try to remember the breath and the deepening of your breathing. And maybe whenever you want to add on the exhale like an open mouth ha or the hu breath, do that, right, as you like. Good. Inhale, look forward to the hands and bring the knees down. Walk 1 foot forward, the other foot forward. Inhale, right into the half lift. Exhale, forward fold, hands on blocks. Inhale, half lift, hands on the hips, and stand up. Good. Palms facing forward, Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up, big circle. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down, step back, all fours. Good. And tuck the toes under, downward dog. Good. In downward dog, inhale the right leg back. Now you want to make sure where the hips remain closed and you kind of try to really have all 5 toes of that foot facing down toward the ground. So we're not opening the hip stays closed. And inhale, reach back through the right heel. We really try to keep that lifted leg straight. And now, opposition, open the hip and maybe bend the knee and circle the ankle. So those circular movements in the ankle joint are also really, really good, right? To keep like the joint fluid kind of moving and keeping kind of like the joint lubricated, and also that kind of toning in the calf muscles. Good. And then bring that foot down, bring your knees down. Good. And sit down into a child's pose. Like, these poses can be a lot, and just allow yourself to really feel that things have changed during your pregnancy, right? So you want to take things easy, you want to take things slow, and really find a way to feel into your body, right, and your mind, and how you're really doing. Trust your intuition. Good. Come back to all fours, and we're going to do the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg, and again, kind of roll that outer left hip down toward the ground. And then can you still shoot the left heel back? So you want to really pull the left thigh out of the left hip joint. So you want to have that length in the left leg. Good. Foot is flexed. And then we do the opposite. We open that hip, right? So open the left hip, bend the knee. And please, you do not have to like lift the leg a whole lot. It doesn't have to be big movements. Keep it small, keep it simple. And if any of this is too much, come down to birth preparation pose, rotating the ankle joint again. And if you do one side, also go the other way around. And all the while, keep also drawing up on the kneecap of the right leg. Press all 5 toes into the ground in the right foot. This is your base right now, and your hands as well. And bring the left foot down, bend the knees a lot. Look forward to the hands. Now you can transition again through all fours, or you walk forward with the knees really wide apart and grab your blocks on the way and come into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and reach the arms up. Hands in front of the heart. And take some time. Take some time, because this can be a lot, like kind of for your body, right? Circulation to kind of catch up with. So take some time just standing and rooting your feet down into the ground, finding your breath again. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bring the hands onto the blocks. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down on the ground. Step back through all fours into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, we bring the right foot forward. Now it's your choice. You can even like lift the leg and bring the foot forward. If this is too much and too much pressure on your belly, you feel, always lower the knees down and then bring the right foot forward, okay? And you can always bring the blocks under your hands for support. And then here, we're just gonna say, all right, baby, let's continue to dance. We're gonna do circular movements to open the hip here, one direction, and then also the other direction. Right, the right foot is facing straight forward. And this is really nice to open the front of the left hip here a bit. Open the hips in general. Yeah, and bring just some fluid movement in here. Deep breaths. Good. Now from here, come to stillness and then bring your hands onto the front thigh and lift your torso up. Can you hear, just feel kind of that nice play, the balance between your pubic bone and your tailbone. You can really also put your hands on the front of your pelvis and the back, so sacrum and pubic, and just shift, like move your pelvis, tilt it, like anterior, posterior tilt. And then you want to find that place where you have the pelvis in neutral, right? Where your lower back is long, the tailbone is gently tucked, and the pubic bone gently lifting up toward the belly button. And then from there, at the arms, inhale, lift up, chest is open and wide. And we're going to come into a side bend to the right. Left arm is reaching up, 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 and over. The right hand can be on the thigh or just reaching down toward the ground, or you can also block the right hand, put the right hand on a block. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, hands down. Good. We're going to transition here into a supported warrior two. So basically your left knee stays where it is, but we're just going to turn open to the side. Don't need this block. And we come into a supported warrior two. Fun, right? So the left foot is directly behind the left knee, so that's why you can't see mine. And then we're going to bring the arms into warrior two arms and just gaze over the front middle finger. Now can you here reach the hands away from one another and create that opening in the chest? Inhale, reaching up and over into reverse warrior. So this is a really nice side body opener here. Inhale, breathe into the right side of the rib cage. Feel the ribs expand away from one another. And exhale, coming down, elbow on the front thigh. And left arm up, biceps by the ear. Inhale, reach long through that left arm, but keep the shoulder released away from the ear. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, the hands down. We're going to transition back, grab both of your blocks. And now bring that right foot out to the side, the edge of the mat. And then we come back, closing the hips into the lunge. So it's really good to have those blocks here. And I think really also to have the padding under the knees, right? That's really beneficial here. And then from there, we're just going to step back, bring the blocks forward again. You can come here into a very mild cat pose because we don't want to overstretch the belly. Think more of like lengthening the spine. And then exhale, very mild, just letting the head hang really. I do not want you to engage your ab muscles here. Just let the head hang. And back to downward facing dog. Good. And then the other side. So again, find out what transition is best for you. You can lift the leg and kind of like swing it through and step the foot forward. Or again, you come to all fours and bring, now this time, the left foot forward. And grab your blocks. Gonna do like the dancey movement with our baby again. Opening the hips and going into the other direction as well. Good. Very good. All right, and then from here, bring the hands on the front thigh, interlace the hands, and again, finding that neutrality of your pelvic tilt. Again, drawing the belly gently in, and then inhale, lifting the arms up. Can you imagine here again to have a block between your thighs that you're kind of pressing together? Because this is kind of like that drawing in action that we would like to have in the lunge poses, right? It feels like if you draw in toward your center, that energy is moving all the way up to your spine, and you find a great integrity and strength in those poses, the closed hip poses. Good, and then we're gonna come on over to the other side.
Inhale into that opening, stretching of the right side body, right side of your waist. But still keep your chest open and broad. Coming up. Good. Other side of the warrior two. You can bring your blocks with you for the transition. Right, so we opening up. This is now an open hip pose. Good. And spread your wings. What I like sometimes to do here is also bouncing a little bit, kind of into the warrior, finding that openness in the hips and the front thigh. Good, and then come to stillness. And then we reverse the warrior, opening the left side body and the shoulders really relaxed. Good, and into the side angle. Can you open the chest with your inhales, really smiling your collarbones open here. Coming up. Good. Hands on the blocks and closing the hips again. Good. And now just stepping the right foot actually forward. Good. Coming into a forward fold at the front of the mat. Let the head hang. Yeah. We're gonna come into a chair pose. That's just something I wanna integrate into this class because it's a great leg strengthener. Bring your hips at least hip width distance, but really it's very cool. I'm gonna show actually the mat width distance apart. So I call it like a chair squat because it's kind of like in between. And you can also have your toes slightly facing outward. Bring your hands, bend the knees a lot, bring your hands on the hips and really bring the weight into your heels. Like really there is an imaginary chair behind you and you do attempt to sit in it, which you don't, right? This is kind of like a, really good workout for your quads, for your leg strength, which you may need during labor. I did, I really needed it a lot because I used squatting positions. And then just kind of move your weight a little bit from side to side. So again, you can also bring the hands on the belly and like, hey babes, I'm moving with you and this is really fun and I'm strengthening my legs and I'm preparing myself for labor, for our big moment. Yeah. And then you can just come to center, draw the weight more back and down into the ground. And if you want to have a bit more of a burn, you can really reach the arms forward, biceps by the ears. Now really get into your breathing, inhaling into your back body and exhaling, giving your energy into the ground. One more. Good. Hands on the blocks. Forward fold. And here, bend one knee and bend the other knee. Good. All right. Okay. Bring your hands on the mat, bend the knees, come to all fours. Okay. And come to a seat. We're going to come to Baddha Konasana. I'm going to take my blanket, scarf actually, out to the side. You will need it for Shavasana, so just keep it nearby. Baddha Konasana. Again, you can also sit on something if you feel like you're rounding your spine. And then bring the soles of the feet together and just hold either around your toes or at the ankles, just in a way where you feel like you can support yourself. You can sit upright, your spine is in its natural curves, aka straight. And keep pressing the soles of the feet together. And it may really also be nice to just, once you've found the position and your spine is straight, to just hold your baby. And gently, like a butterfly, just lift your knees up and down, like you want to fly. Now, great moment to introduce the who breath again. as it's also, the hoop breath is really kind of calming because of the sound that it makes. It stretches the breath longer and has this kind of like cooling effect as well. Good. And then slowly stop the movement and bring your knees in. Good. And then we're just gonna do a side stretch again. So the bottom foot is on top of the right ankle, or like, yeah, because I have like left foot on top of the right ankle right now. And then just hold your right knee here. Do not try to cross in front of the body. Just hold the right knee, same hand, same knee. And then circle your left arm up and coming over. A nice side stretch again. Those side stretches I feel are so nice during pregnancy because you just create more space in your side body, which really helps to deepen the breathing and having those deep breaths even though you're constricted in the belly right now. And coming up and just changing position. Other side. Left foot on top of the right foot on top of the left ankle. Good. And bring your left hand on your left knee. Inhale, deep inhale. Reach the arm up and come on over and feel like more you want to reach up and really pull kind of that arm out of the hip here so you get that nice length. Maybe on the exhale, relax your face, relax the left shoulder. Good. Maybe opening the mouth a little bit. Inhale, come up. Good. We're coming into Shavasana, and I'm gonna show you the side Shavasana, and then end the video also, so you just have the permission to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Just make sure you come out of it through your side. So you're not using your rectus abdominis to come up. Always up and down through the side. What I suggest you have, if you have a bolster, really just get everything now, and I'm going to show you how to get in. If you don't have a bolster, use the blocks or a pillow or something else for support. So you're going to come down on your side, through your side, lying on the left side because of the vena cava, which runs on the right side of the spine. So we do not want to compress it. That's where we lie on the left. And then the left leg is like long, and the right leg bends and lies on top of the bolster, kind of like in a right angle to your torso. And then I like to prop up my head. So just try to find something where, you don't have this tilt in your neck, but something that allows your cervical spine to be long. I just use a block. You can roll up a blanket or anything, or a towel. Good. And then I use the other block for my top hand, so my chest is not too constricted. And this is your side Shavasana. And take a deep inhale to your baby, and exhale. Tell your baby, well done. That was a nice dance. And now we get to snuggle and relax. Close your eyes and allow yourself to really let yourself float and drop down into the earth. Your body is supported right now. That's where we're having all these props. You can really let your muscles melt. And by that, like any tension or pulling in the joints is just gonna decrease or like really soften, and we can totally let go. Also let the breath go and just float naturally in and out.
try to stay in this pose for at least 2 to 3 minutes. If you can, stay for 10 minutes. Namaste.